Hello, welcome to In Touch with Durham County, the show designed to provide you with information about Durham County government people, programs, and services. I'm your host, Deborah Craig-Ray, Chief Communications Officer. We're pleased to bring you another exciting show. Keith Lane, Director of Budget and Management Services, joins us today to talk about all things money. Public dollars must be managed successfully, and the expertise of Mr. Lane and his team is critical to the success of Durham County operations. In our second segment, we will meet Economic Development Coordinator Sabria Futrell. She will talk about an award-winning program known as Innovate Durham. Innovate Durham is a weeks-long partnership program that turns your local government into a lab to test new ideas, products, or services. Welcome, Keith. I'm so pleased to have you on the show today.
Thank you, Deborah. It's an honor to be here.
And I know it's probably been a few years since we talked last on this show.
I was talking earlier, I think it was about 15 years ago in an entirely different building, but I prefer not to talk about that many decades, if at all possible.
Gotcha. So how long have you been with Durham County government?
26 years in January, so a number of years.
Yes, and have you always been in budget?
Always been in budget. My whole career has been in budget, actually.
Yeah. Well, we're so grateful for the way that you have just kind of watched these dollars.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your office. How are you organized? Who are your staff?
Well, I'd like to say a little bit about our staff. We have 7 employees in total, including me, but I think we have the best staff in the county. David Ades is our Assistant Budget Director. We have Heather Walker, Senior Budget Analyst, Shannon Wright, and Jonathan Yeomans, and Justin Key, and our newest analyst, Jonathan Pica, whom I think works with your department. They are fabulous. Many of our staff have been long-term with 5 or more years in our office, which I think is a testimony to how enjoyable the work is that we do and the camaraderie we have as a group. I am lucky and blessed to have them as staff.
Mm-hmm. So as Director of Budget and Management Services, what is your primary role?
My primary role is to make sure our office is an intermediary between what departments need and what management needs and what the board needs. We try to convey information through definition of dollars, but basically information up and down that pathway. What the board wants through the manager, through us to departments and how they define that in dollars, and then whatever department stresses and needs they have, we try to translate that back up the line, chain of command to management and the board, all in a numerical way.
Mm-hmm.
That's primarily my work. And particularly, we focus on development of an annual budget. Durham County's budget for the last fiscal year, the fiscal year that we're in now, finally went over the $1 billion threshold. We're a grown-up county now. That's not chump change. The general fund budget, which is where 95% of the action happens, where most of the employees are paid out of and the work is done, is almost $700 million, $690 million annual budget. So these are a lot of dollars that have to be figured out where to place and how best to place them to produce the services that citizens want and need.
Yeah. So I know most people are familiar when they hear budget, they think, the springtime, their hearings, the commissioners make a decision about the tax rate and approve a budget. But indeed, your office works year-round. Talk about that.
Yes, ma'am. The annual budget process is much longer than the show time, which is that March, April, May time frame. Remember, the manager has to recommend a budget and produce it to the board in May, but a tremendous amount of work has gone on before it ever gets to the manager's recommended budget. Our office has about 3 months off, if we want to say it, from thinking about the annual budget process. But come September, November, particularly October, November, we start thinking about how to develop and plan for the next year's budget, which starts July the 1st. So we're talking 6, 7, 8 months in advance. Oftentimes, the board will have a policy retreat sometime in December or January. We effectively open the budget process to departments for inputting their budget in February, and that takes a lot of work and coordination between departments and us, and we work towards getting a manager's recommended budget produced in May, and that's when the real action happens. The manager recommends a budget usually in the first or second week in May, and then commissioners discuss it for a month and hopefully approve something similar. to that budget that the manager recommended.
Absolutely. And I know, you all have to work with we departments just to kind of hear our priorities. And then you also have to take a look at what's happening in terms of another budget, which is the federal budget. And their schedule is different than ours. How does that work?
Well, it works because we have dedicated staff who understand those differences. We have lots of grant money, funds that flow from the federal government to us. And so fiscal years, to not get a little technical, the federal government usually runs on an October fiscal year. We start July the 1st and run through June 30th, but we have dedicated finance staff and department staff that know how to assess those budgets. But it can throw a wrench into how you estimate future when there's a little bit of chaos in the state level and the federal level, and frankly, there's been a little bit of chaotic
Just a little bit,
governing
at the state budget shut down.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a struggle for departments as well as our office and even management to understand and assess the effects of things that are happening in different governments that help fund our government.
But, frankly, you guys sort of have this expertise. You're able to look at past trends and think about what might happen in the future and kind of put us in the middle ground so that we can respond when these changes happen. Is that right?
That's it in a nutshell, Deborah. Maybe you should come work for our office. But really, our skill set is looking out into looking at the present right now and trying to assess the future. I always try to say our job is largely built around playing with monopoly money because we're always trying to assess what type of revenues we're going to collect a year from now. And then we figure out how we're going to spend money a year from now that we haven't collected. And so that job of trying to figure out what sort of chaotic things are happening now or not, and how we deal with those things and how we assess the dollar amount of that and how that may affect the future is a large part of our skill set and I think why we enjoy the job and why we've engendered the trust that we have, I hope, with management and the board. It's not an easy job to do those skills, but you said it best. We largely look at historical trends, what's happening now, and then use that to predict what we think the future is going to hold.
And certainly one of the things that our government, everybody's government, has had to deal with is the after effects of the COVID shutdown.
The COVID shutdown was extraordinarily unique for a lot of places in North Carolina. For Durham County, irrespective of the negative health issues that happened and the closing, those are all cultural issues outside of government. But one of the things that did happen is there was such an infusion of cash into the overall economic system that Durham County, towards the end of COVID and for a year or two after that, kind of was on a COVID dollar high where sales tax revenue was growing at a fantastic pace, which allowed us to expand some of the needed services we had, and we needed to expand them. One of the issues with COVID is actually happening now, which is that growth in revenue inevitably had to slow down. And so we're having a tightening of revenues now that we hadn't seen a couple of years ago, and we're having to deal with the effects of that. But yes, COVID presented a number of different issues.
Yeah. And another area that I know you all, of course, are involved in is the capital improvement plan. That's where you have to think about the needs going forward, new buildings, how to finance that. Talk about your work with the capital improvement plan.
The capital improvement plan is well over $1 billion. I think it's actually over $2 billion of identified needs, capital needs that the county sees happening in the next 10 years. What's a capital need? Helping Durham Public Schools build a new school, replace a school. We have a detention center downtown that's already 30 years old that needs upkeep. We own 30 to 40 different buildings, if not more, that need HVAC systems, that need new carpets, that need all sorts of repairs just to keep it up. It's not unlike a family that owns a house and they have to plan, I'm going to need to get a new roof for this house at this date, and I know that the HVAC system's 15 years old and I've got to replace it. And in theory, if you're doing a good job budgeting for those things, you know they're coming and you're set aside funding or ways to fund them when the time comes. In fact, Annually, we pay about $116 million in what we call debt service. It's not unlike amortization payments that you might pay for your house. If you pay $2,000 a month to own a house to pay back the bank for the loan, that's $24,000 a year. We have $116 million in annual payments to pay for DPS schools that have already been built, to support Durham Community Colleges, to help build that beautiful new main library. This building we're sitting in right now, updates to that. It's a huge and important process because you cannot be surprised with a $100 million bill. You have to see that coming so you can plan for it. And that's why it's called a capital improvement plan and why we look out 10 years so we're not surprised and we're able to afford the things that are coming.
Yeah, and so it's sort of a living document.
Always changing, yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Now, in what way does your department help the other departments to manage their budgets? Do you all have check-ins?
We do have check-ins. We do a quarterly report for the management office where we show spending by department over the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter every 3 or 4 months. But we're always working with departments. If we notice overspending, we have 100 different reports, if not more, that we keep an eye on, because it's one thing to budget dollars. This is what we think you're going to spend. Then we have a financial system and a whole department that says this is what you're actually spending, and we like to see steady spending throughout the year. And if there are any issues that are outside of normal steady spending, we notice that and call departments, or more likely departments will call us and say, we have a surprise issue. An ambulance is wrecked and we need to replace one, and that's a $300,000. Keith, in your office, can you magically find us money?
Right.
Amazingly, we can, because we know those sorts of things happen. But we always have those sorts of constant discussions. We are a customer service oriented department in that it is our job to help departments spend their budget effectively and with knowledge.
Yeah. So I'm going to embarrass you a little bit if you don't mind. I know a little while ago you won an award, the AJAC Voigt Lifetime Achievement Award for outstanding commitment to the advancement of local government budgeting and evaluation. Yes, that's a mouthful, but it speaks to the great work that you do and how your peers understand how great you are. How'd you feel?
It was a great honor, honestly. I kind of feel like I was the last man standing. I've been in budget so long, and I've been a budget director. I've been around the state group of people in that budget association for so long. But thanks to the support of people in my office, we've been able to create a statewide report around sales tax analysis, which is usually the second biggest revenue source for departments. And so monthly, I will do some analysis and send out sometimes humorous emails, sometimes serious, sort of explaining the sales tax trends. And I think a lot of other places that don't have access to that type of technology have appreciated that information, and I think this award was partly reflective of that. But I was honored after a lifetime's work in it.
Well, we were certainly proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, again, we just appreciate all that you and your team do for us, and I want to thank you again for being on the show today. Is there one thing you want to leave our viewers with?
Durham County is an amazing place to work and live. I've been here my whole life, and I plan to finish out the rest of my life here, and it is a fabulous place that has a lot of room for improvement, and I can't wait to see what comes next.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And like I said, I appreciate all you do for Durham County. We're going to take a short break, and when we return, we will speak with Sabria Futrell, who will introduce us to Innovate Durham. Stay with us. We'll see you on the other side.
Durham County and the City of Durham are helping more residents access clean, affordable energy through the low to moderate income solar program. This initiative supports income-qualified households by installing rooftop solar at no cost to the household, reducing electricity bills, and making it more affordable for residents to stay in their homes. This also results in reduced community greenhouse gas emissions and moves our community away from fossil fuels and towards a cleaner future.
Durham County has a long commitment to reducing greenhouse gas emissions in our community and in our operations. And this is one of the ways we're helping to reduce emissions in our community. By providing solar power systems to people who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it, we're reducing their energy bill, reducing the emissions from their home, and also helping them bring the costs down to live in their home, making it more affordable for them.
very grateful for having Yes Solar and being able to provide for my mom because she's disabled and she stay cold a whole lot. So I think this would be a great benefit for her as far as the energy, with her light bill, and then she can use her funds for other things, whether it's taking trips or having food or medication. I want to give my appreciation, my thanks to everybody who played a part in this, especially for me and my mom. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
The county and city are partnering with a trusted local solar company, Yes Solar Solutions, to install the solar energy systems. Additionally, partner organizations like the Durham Community Land Trust and Preserving Home play a key role, helping identify eligible homes that are permanently affordable and already energy efficient, making solar a smart and lasting investment for the community.
This is the 21st low to middle income project that Yes Solar Solutions has done this year. And what we're finding is how much happiness and good it's bringing to everyone in the company to be able to contribute back to the community, provide access to people that wouldn't normally have access to solar, save those people money, $300 to $400 a year, and close that loop on to whom solar is available.
So far, numerous homes have received solar installations through combined support from Durham County and the City of Durham, with more on the way. These systems help families save hundreds of dollars per year, delivering long-term savings and environmental benefits. Together with our partners, we're expanding access to clean energy in ways that are equitable, strategic, and built to last. Learn more about how we're lighting the way toward a sustainable Durham at greenerdurham.net.
Welcome back. I'm pleased to welcome Economic Development Coordinator Sabria Futrell to the segment. Thank you, Sabria, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
We want to hear all about it. Tell us first, how long have you been with Durham County Economic Development?
I have been with Durham County for 3 amazing years. I have been having such a great time working with all the different collaborators and people here at the county, and I'm just, looking forward to continuing that.
Wonderful. We love your energy.
Thank you.
What's the mission of economic development?
Well, the mission of economic development is to support, different county initiatives with workforce development programming, small business programming, and especially recruiting and retaining those companies that directly align with Durham's strategic goals.
Yeah, very good. So how many staff are in your department?
Well, I would like to say there's 4 of us. It's Andy Miracle, our, prestigious director, Matthew Filter, and Brandy Minor, and myself.
You do a lot.
Yes, we're small but mighty.
Yeah. So again, like you said, I know economic development includes recruiting new businesses and trying to retain the businesses that we have, workforce development, business assistance for our small businesses, and a lot more. You guys really do a lot.
Yes, I would say I love supporting the small business community. It's nothing like going out in the community and seeing businesses that you had numerous conversations with, saying, "Hey, Sabria, I took your advice. This, has helped me propel, forward in whatever my goals are." It just makes me feel, very progressive.
That's wonderful. So let's delve into Innovate Durham. Share a little bit about the history, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, Innovate Durham first started back in 2017 as a partnership between the city and county of Durham. Since 2017, we've had 7 cohorts, which I'm happy to announce. And this past year, we have, kind of developed the program and keep continuing to push forward.
And I think I read on your website, it's kind of like a lab. People are kind of coming in, finding ideas, and pushing those ideas into local government. So just talk about, how do you sign up to become a part of Innovate Durham?
Well, just want to go back to that lab piece. Yes, it's basically a testing lab for whatever your idea or service may be. We're trying to refine your proof of concept, saying, hey, this actually works, or even testing your business model and seeing if it does or doesn't work, and how do we help you redefine it. If you're looking to apply to the program, we always put out different marketing initiatives, partner with PIO to make sure people apply during that application window. And it's free for them to apply, and we would just hope that they are strategically aligned with our goals. Just a little tip for the people that would like to know, we look at applications that directly align with the strategic plan of Durham County.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, talk about the timeline involved in participating, because I'm sure if somebody's interested, they want to know how much time do they need to devote to participating.
Well, it's generally a 16-week long program. Sometimes it can be shorter or longer depending on, different requirements or needs. But for the most part, you will be basically committing to technical assistance sessions as well as getting prep work for your pitch. We do a demo day at the end of every program season, and we want to make sure that you are, putting your best foot forward and making sure when you get ready to deliver your demo day project to the community that you have everything that you need to, have a successful production.
Now, who gets to participate in Demo Day?
Any Durham County resident or any entrepreneur that's doing business in Durham County.
Now, I understand that you now work with Forward Cities E3 Durham program. Talk about that.
Yes, we decided to work with Forward Cities and the E3 Durham initiative to basically integrate some programming inside of Innovate Durham. Since they are already a partner with us, it just made sense to just expand on that relationship. This kind of puts the participant directly inside of the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Durham. By the way, we have a great entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Durham. I would say that they have access to business navigators that get to provide them, the resources and expert support that they would need, giving them more support than I probably could. So whether that's marketing, accounting, and so on and so forth.
Now, talk about some of the successful programs that we've had come through Innovate Durham that are still operating in our community.
All right. I would say a favorite that comes to my mind is last year's participant, Laughing My Neos, which is a company that is ran by Judy Batista. It's a speech language pathology company that caters to kids aged from 3 to 5, making sure that they have all the skills that they need. We partner with Durham Pre-K to provide early assessment and to also provide workshops to the teachers to be able to, find those different signs when a child may need those, skills or may need that additional help.
So I know that at one time we used to sort of involve some of our county departments in the Innovate Durham process. Do we still do that?
Yes, we actually started doing that again this year with this cohort. We are currently partnering with Durham County Main Library in their Small Business Center, as well as Durham Cooperative Extension, which I am very excited about. You get to see how the employees and the small business owners kind of develop their own relationship through, matters that they both care about. So.
Now, I know we've had several classes or cohorts come through, as you said. Do they sort of interact with one another, support one another as far as you know?
As far as I know, some do get together and co-work, but I'm also working on how I can better integrate the past cohort members to come in and support the new cohort members as mentors, because I always want to keep them in the fold. And of course, I always personally just keep them abreast of different opportunities here in Durham County.
Yeah. So do you go out in the community and talk about this program, or do you market it? I know you work with our department to sort of get some information, but are you available to go out and talk about the program?
Absolutely, I am available. Usually I share information about the program within the Durham Business Collaborative, as well as through E3 Durham, because they have a host of entrepreneurs that they are connected to. And I want to be smart about using their network to make sure I'm getting the message out to any and everyone who could possibly, come in and be a part.
So at the end of graduation, at the end of the demonstration, do you have like a graduation ceremony or something festive?
Oh no, not really something not really something festive. I would say that demo day is the something festive. We have food, we have networking. We also have the businesses coming and showcasing their projects and what they've been working on. And it's just an exciting time just to see how everyone in the community is excited about the work that we're doing. So that's kind of our celebration.
So do you find that some of our younger entrepreneurs have interest in this program?
I wouldn't necessarily say younger entrepreneurs. I would say entrepreneurs who are in that scaling step but want to test their proof of concept before they take the next step, like saying, hey, I would like to work with the government in this particular way. Let me make sure that this works before I take the next step.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking that, as you said, we have really an entrepreneurial spirit here in our community.
Yes, we
and
do.
we do see a lot of our younger folks beginning to think about ways that they can, get a business off the ground.
I would also say anyone that's in the beginning stages, please feel free to look into E3 Durham so that you are able to, connect with a business navigator and get your business off the ground, because that's something that we would like to see.
So is there a cost to participate in this program?
No cost at all. This is free to you because we understand that in order to test a proof of concept, it can also be costly. And we want to eliminate that barrier for you.
Well, we've had a good conversation and we are about out of time. Tell people how they can get in touch with you for more information.
All right. If you would like to get more information about Innovate Durham, please feel free to go to decodnc.gov/economic development. Click on the Innovate Durham tab, and you will see all of our information there. Thank you.
Well, we certainly enjoyed having you today, and we appreciate all that economic development does throughout the community to keep us a vibrant place and an innovative place and a place that people like to come to.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, that wraps up our show today. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to bringing you more useful information and exciting news from our departments and our leaders in the coming months. As I close, I want to remind you that Durham County has a fantastic award-winning new website. You will note many new features, including chatbot and improved ease of use on your mobile phones and tablets. You can find it at www.dconc.gov. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media channels, now including Blue Sky. We'll see you next time on In Touch with Durham County. Cheers!